You mentioned over time making payroll way back when. Over the last 2 years, just as far as cash management best practices and the response that you might have to certain situations, have you refined that? Is there something you've learned along the way about the do's and don'ts of good cash management?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Jack. So I come back to, again, my time in restructuring was invaluable because whenever you're restructuring a business as a financial advisor, the first thing you do is you go in and do like a 13-week cash flow analysis. And so that was one of the first things I did when I got into this seat. Is I said, okay, I'm going to think about this exactly the way I've thought about investing in and also advising, restructured businesses. Is I need to see every, dollar in, every dollar out for the next 13 weeks so that we have literally that picture. And then once we have that, right, then I can kind of extrapolate that out, into a longer time period. And so that's really what we started with. That's what we used for literally a year and a half, almost 2 years, until we just recently repaid our debt. But that type of just granular 13-week and then moving it out over time, I swear by it. It's a super simple analysis. It's every financial advisor or business that's under duress. That's the first thing they do, so you can understand what's coming in, what's going out, and that, I think, once you have that picture, then you can figure out, okay, what's my financing need or what's my shortfall. But until you have that, it's really difficult, I think, to take action at all. We are making a big move, really diversifying our business into high power compute and AI. So again, while we really think of TeraWulf as an infrastructure power business, that is the DNA of the company. It's not Bitcoin mining. So we have been mining Bitcoin because that was the highest and best use of the electrons that we were getting. Now, the highest and best use of that in the future, we believe, is co-location capacity. So we are building and then hosting some of the largest high power compute and AI customers in the world. And so we are targeting long-term customer contracts with those customers. And by the way, those customers are folks, hyperscalers that are in the Magnificent Seven stocks. So thinking of, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Meta. There are, other folks that are building businesses. One of our peers just signed a long-term offtake with CoreWeave, who's an up-and-coming high power compute AI company, and there's dozens of others. And look, this space, high power compute and AI, I truly do believe with Jensen Huang said this as the CEO of NVIDIA, it will be the next industrial revolution for us. I mean, AI will be, I think, in even just a short 5 or 10 years, it will be pervasive. It will be in every part of our lives. And so right now we are at the tip of the spear, but what folks don't realize, and I think are starting to, is that requires a massive amount of energy. I mean, just a chat GPT search is 10 times the amount of energy as a typical Google word search, right? And that's, again, also just the tip of the iceberg, right? There will be AI uses in healthcare to analyze MRIs, right? I mean, it will literally be in every part of our life. And so where we are moving our company, and I think as I look forward, 5-10 years, I think we will be one of the largest public data center companies in the US, because we have a tremendous amount of low carbon, low priced power at our sites. And that is exactly what high power compute and AI operators need. And so we are sort of building the data center of the future to host those clients at our sites. So that's where we're headed. And so for me, the next 6 to 12 months will be executing and announcing contracts with those customers, and then actually beginning the build out of that capacity at our sites.
Patrick Fleury, thank you for joining us on CFO Thought Leader.
Thank you for having me, Jack. Pleasure.